the California State University System, CSU for short, is making some history with the largest deployment of ChatGPT attempted, bringing AI to more than 500,000 people across its 23 campuses. So, this was announced on OpenAI's website. They have a partnership with OpenAI through which the university system will provide ChatGPT EDU, which is a version of ChatGPT specifically customized for educational institutions, to over 460,000 students and 63,000 staff and faculty members. So this turns CSU into kind of the first real like AI powered university system in the US. And the implementation includes a few key components. So one, faculty can use ChatGPT for curriculum development and create course specific GPTs, while students get access to personalized tutoring and study guides. The university is also launching a dedicated platform offering free AI training programs and certifications, along with apprenticeship programs connecting students to AI driven industries. So, early research into how ChatGPT is actually impacting education shows that this could actually be really substantial. Like Harvard researchers have found that AI powered tutoring doubled student engagement and improved problem solving. A Microsoft study indicates that individuals with AI skills are 70% more likely to be hired. So, like we mentioned, this uses ChatGPT EDU. That's not special to CSU. That is something that launched in May 2024 and provides universities with access to OpenAI's latest models, enterprise level security, specialized pricing. So if you are just hearing about this now, go check that out for sure if you're a higher ed institution. So, Paul, this seems really promising, especially in its scale. What is there to like about this partnership between CSU and OpenAI? And what are some of the bigger picture implications?
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic from a CSU perspective. Now, it's weird for me to say CSU because we're from Cleveland.
Right.
Cleveland State University is
Yeah.
CSU. So the first time I read this, I was like, "Oh, awesome! CSU is doing a massive program." And I was like, "Oh, it's California State University." Hopefully, our CSU also follows suit. So I think it's great from a university perspective to have a vision for this, not just infusion into the curriculum, but into administration, into the academics and to provide the training is so critical here of how to use these platforms, not just get the licenses and hand them out, but actually like make sure that they're being used in a responsible way. That's critical. I think as a parent, now again, my kids are 13 and about to be 12. They're still in grade school. But if I was looking at high schools, which we will be soon, I would say if we had 2 choices that were comparable, again, my belief is that kids should choose where they go. My parents gave me that choice as a high schooler, and I think my kids should have the same. But as a parent, I would very aggressively look at how schools are doing, and if I saw one of the schools that my daughter was, say, considering had a very aggressive program to integrate AI, drive literacy, drive usage, responsible usage, and one, outlawed it or considered it plagiarism,
Mm.
and there's, like, a really, really good chance I'm going to, try and help her see the opportunity of the more modernized school, I guess I would say. Same is true in college, I would push more heavily. Like, if I had a child right now, junior, senior in high school, this would be in the top 3 of my list of how are they handling AI? What are they gonna teach you over the next 4 years to prepare you for the reality of the workforce in 4 years from now? And again, if it was a college that wanted me to be paying them 20 to 50,000 a year or more, and they weren't integrating AI and didn't have AI systems, I'm sorry, but as a parent, like, let's look at the next option, because you're not gonna be ready for the real world. So, I think that you're gonna see a lot more of this. I think the Chat GPT EDU program will explode in a very positive way, and I think this is a really important aspect when we go back to the models that are the winners in the end. There is a battle for the next generation of workers. And when the kids come out of school, they're either going to be loyal to Gemini or ChatGPT is my current, given who I think are going to be the major frontier models 2 years from now. Um, I think there's a battle for mind share and usage from those students. And I think whoever you come out of school relying on is probably the model you stay loyal to. Because as we've
Mm,
talked about, the models are going to be commoditized. They're going to roughly have the same capabilities. And so brand preference is actually going to become very important for these AI models and the platforms. And so I think that Google and OpenAI, I would imagine, know that, and I would think that they're very aggressively trying to solve for how do they become the preferred brand of the next generation of workers.
So really quickly, I'd be curious as to your perspective on like what kind of training actually needs to be in place here for this to work because they say they're providing it. But like we talked about tons of times, both in higher ed and outside of it, the people getting access to powerful AI being turned on need training to be able to use it effectively. Like, what kinds of change management are they going to have to overcome? I mean, no offense, but some teachers are now notorious for hating
Yeah.
ChatGPT and AI in general. Like, what does that look like to you?
That's gonna be the painful part, is
Mm,
you're going you can sit here and lay out a vision for what this looks like, what the change management's gonna need, building centers of excellence for teachers so that they can share best practices. They can, you can build into your training, here's the personalized use cases that are gonna be most relevant to each department, each teacher. So when you hand them the license, here's the 3 to 5 ways to use this in curriculum development, assessing students, grading, homework, whatever it is, like whatever the main ways they're going to use it is, and teach those as like the cores. Maybe even give them pre-built GPTs for specific use case. Like that's best case scenario.
yeah.
But as you highlighted, you're going to have a whole bunch of teachers, professors who want nothing to do with this. They just they are you're not going to convince them this isn't cheating and it's not
Mm,
shortcutting critical thinking um and that's gonna be the biggest problem, honestly, because especially at the university level, when there's tenure involved, like, you can't force change at the university level, especially if they're state funded, like, it doesn't work like that. They can't it's not like we can bring in Elon Musk and have him, create Doge and, like, just totally change universities in 30 days. Doesn't happen that way. So, I think that there's gonna be some universities that solve for this and find out ways to move forward and bring the professors and teachers along. And then there's going to be some that just really struggle against the friction of resistance to change. That is what humans tend to do, especially when you've been doing something for a really long time, a very specific way.